It's Nolan. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music and entertainment, breakdowns, and commentary. Today, we're going to be getting into Cardi B and social media influencer Raymonte. Unfortunately, it looks like they had a bit of a spat, a little back and forth going on earlier today. It seems that things have been resolved, but we're going to go over the entire situation, where this stemmed from, how Cardi B got involved, and how they found some sort of resolution, all within about a few hours. All right. So, in order for me to even get to Cardi B, we're going to have to get into, again, social media influencer Raymonte. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm going to be straight up front. I don't really know much about this gentleman. You know what I'm saying? I don't follow him on Twitter. I don't follow him on any social media, but I did see that his name was circulating quite a bit when I logged on to Twitter today. There were people talking about an Essence article that was written about him, and he took a little bit of exception to it. Didn't like how they wrote it or how they positioned it, so he called them out. It seemed that he went viral shortly after calling them out. I'm going to get into the article. I'm going to get into what his discrepancies were and how things ended up relating to Cardi B, where they had an ongoing argument back and forth on Twitter. Celebrities, artists, y'all get on mother effing social media and just lose all your couth. But we're going to address it all today, okay? Cardi B has stayed in the news ever since coming back on the scene just about less than a month ago, or maybe about a month ago. New music, new beefs, new issues, new interviews. You know, she's definitely the living and breathing version of all press is good press, whether it be negative or positive. You feel what I'm saying? They're definitely leaning into this as far as her team is concerned. But let's get into how this thing even got started. All right. So apparently Raymonte recently went on a birthday trip, and he basically documented the entire process on his TikTok. It must be noted that Raymonte is gay, you know what I mean? Which is why some people may feel like he doesn't get the opportunities that he's looking for in terms of his brand sponsorships and things. This was brought up in the actual article. You know what I'm saying? Again, I don't know him. So I'm not saying this out of my own thought process. I'm literally regurgitating what the narrative is. Some people say he's ghetto. We're going to get all into that in just a moment. So the article on Essence comes out, and they say Raymonte's birthday trip, why influencer diversity is important, right? They say instead of focusing on the drama, there's a larger conversation surrounding brand opportunities. I'm going to read the actual article. I'm going to get into all of the details here, as many as I can get to without going too far. And this was written by Kenyatta Victoria. And I think this is very, very important to document who the writer of the article is, because Raymonte decided to call out Essence as an entire platform. I think he should have had a conversation with the writer and spoke to her, because sometimes we look at these platforms or these publications and we take shots at them, but really it's like, yo, let's zoom out a little bit, or zoom in and see where this came from, because the executives over there at Essence were not privy to what's going on. Matter of fact, this is a division called Girls United, which I believe is student writers at Essence. So just to show you how much of a smaller microcosm we're dealing with here. But let me keep going. Article states, if you're chronically on X, you've probably seen the influencer BD Trey Little Brother all over social media. Known as Raymonte, his comical commentary and authentic personality reveal a different side for influencers. His online presence has grown tremendously over the past year, and he's become one of the go-to online personalities you've probably seen in the timeline. Recently, the Zillennial, wow, never seen that word before, drew attention to himself by curating a birthday trip with several Zillennial influencers, including Dre Brown, Malik McIntyre, and Davey Bad. The trip became the highlight of social media, as many Gen Zers treated it like a reality TV episode, and each post grew in popularity. As views on TikTok, Instagram, and X continued to gain traction, a major conversation grew about brands failing to respond to major influencer moments like this. For many Zillennials, becoming an influencer has become a career possibility, and one of the significant moments in the industry is brand trips, showcasing your influence among brands. Brands frequently falter in their engagement with Black influencers due to several systemic issues in the marketing industry. With the lack of diversity and representation within brand decision-making circles, there could be a misstep on which influencer brands should focus. As we keep seeing Black creators put themselves out there online, these should be the moments brands look at as a way to connect with the next generation. When the voices at the table do not reflect the diversity of their consumer base, blind spots emerge. Brands may overlook the significance of collaborating with Black influencers or fail to appreciate the value they bring to their campaigns, as we saw during Raymonte's birthday trip. It continues to show the missing element brands need: diversity in influencers. Authenticity is essential in influencer marketing, and brands that fail to recognize the importance of genuine connections miss opportunities to build trust and loyalty among diverse consumers. Black influencers are often underinvested compared to their white counterparts. Despite research showing Black consumers immense influence and purchasing power, brands frequently give smaller budgets and fewer resources to campaigns featuring Black influencers or do not invest. This underinvestment perpetuates inequalities within the influencer marketing landscape and undermines Black influencers' potential to reach broader audiences and drive meaningful brand impact. By recognizing the value and importance of Black voices in shaping culture and consumer trends, brands can improve and contribute to more equitable and inclusive space for the next generation of creators. Right? So that's what was said. All right. Again, Raymonte had this whole thing documented, they say, as a reality TV episode. You know, that's how it played out. And it must be noted that, again, these young men that were out having a great time, they are all Black gay men. And I think when the conversation comes back to diversity, even though it wasn't explicitly said here, I think that is another level. It's not just about Black, right? It's about Black and having diverse people within the Black community having a voice, having the opportunity to get sponsorship, having the opportunity to be seen, because I don't think there is necessarily a shortage of Black brand collaborations, right? There's certain Black people that get shunned or overlooked, and we kind of see the disparities in that space, right? But then when you zoom in, you see the Black women and how a lot of the culture and the things that they influence kind of get gentrified and taken and put into white spaces, just as the things that the entire Black culture deals with. But also on another level, we also see how the culture of Black gay men, or just Black gays and LGBTQ, bring a lot of things to the culture as well, whether that be lingo, slang, whether that be certain looks, because a lot of the styling that's going on out here is coming from their, you know what I'm saying, creativity. So I think when you start breaking all of this stuff down, somebody like a Raymonte who has a following on multiple platforms, and like the writer says, you would think that these brands would reach out, but perhaps they're either not aware, perhaps they're overlooking him, and perhaps, you know, a lot of this, like I said, the slang, you know, a lot of the vernacular that we're using today, which is being consumed as av or ghetto speak or whatever the case may be, is coming from how the gays like to interact, and they create these terms and they become mainstream at a certain point. But there's some people that look at that as ghetto, and this is why ghetto influencer is the term that's being splat around. You know what I mean? I also would not be surprised if this article has been modified ever since all of this controversy took place, because I don't understand why Raymonte would have taken offense to what was written here. It sounds like she was advocating and pointing out an opportunity for brands to get involved with someone such as himself. So when it was brought to Raymonte's attention that Essence had covered his trip, he says, "OMG, Essence, thank you for the article, but this is kind of hypocritical. You all have invited numerous other influencers to events, never me. It's the same thing with BET. I have a large following and my supporters keep me afloat so I don't cry over spilled milk. I don't need a pity party or deep dive into why I'm not marketable. Don't use me as the example when you contribute to the problem. From there, Essence responded. The outlet clarified the company's goal is to champion and amplify non-traditional spaces within the Black community. The article's purpose was to introduce Essence's article to Raymonte. They say super disappointed that this was the response of the angle of uplifting, learning more about you, and wanting brands to recognize what you bring to the table. That's what Essence posted. They say everything isn't for everyone, and we received that moving forward. Wish you the best. Keep going. So this is a direct response from whoever's running social media over at Essence. Remember, the original article was on a smaller division within the Essence family. So this has been escalated, as they say in the business world. Raymonte comes back. He says, why are you disappointed at my response? You didn't showcase or highlight any of my content or positive moments, so what's being introduced? Talking about everything I'm not getting while also offering me nothing but well wishes and good luck. Girl, F y'all. He says, I was really respectful, I thought. They're acting like I did something to them. I'm never getting invited now. Okay? Essence has since deleted the post of the story from Twitter as well as their response. The article is, however, still up on the website, which I just read from. Now, just looking at this from my perspective, I think this guy kind of handled this a little poorly, right? Just because you have a personal vendetta against Essence or BET or whatever the case may be, because you've never been invited to any events, they haven't stepped in to give you the platform that it is you wanted. Again, that's why I say in the beginning, look at the writer, not the publication. This is essentially a website article. This isn't an Essence magazine, monthly issue that's getting printed up. This isn't a full representation of what Essence and their greater mission is for the month. This is just a daily post, you know what I'm saying, from somebody that was interested in his story and wanted to speak about his story and wanted to speak about, hey, I wonder why no one else thought to do this. You know what I'm saying? Looked out and got involved with his situation and why people like him deserve to get those opportunities. Again, that is from the writer's perspective. She had to get clearance for the article to go up, but I'm sure when they went through the process of reviewing it, was like, okay, this is harmless. This is giving a platform to somebody we probably didn't even know about. So yeah, go ahead and put that up there. Now he's feeling some type of way, right? And I didn't like that. I didn't like the fact that he was like, y'all never invite me to nothing. It's like, whoa. Had we been able to look further into you, you might have started getting some invites, right? But you come at us with this vitriol. You come at us with this hatefulness. How can you feel entitled to get invited to Essence events, Essence Fest, BET or whatever? When it's your time, it's your time. You can feel some type of way in the privacy of your own home. But if you have the desire to get there someday, trashing an article about you on their website ain't gonna get it, especially when they didn't say anything negative about you. I can see if they disparaged you, called you out, called you all types of names, made you, look like a fool, put nothing but unflattering photos up of you. Like, there's multiple ways that they could have gone about this if they wanted to pounce upon you and make you an example of, what's not desirable in the space. But you just responded poorly. So for anyone that was calling you ghetto, you definitely showcased that immediately, right? So there we have that. That started all of this. Furthermore, insert Cardi. Okay, so a Twitter user comes out and says, this honestly has me weak with the Cardi B comparison because people have been bashing Cardi B years ago, always calling her ghetto. Just say you don't like Cardi and stop saying her name. And the video is of Raymonte, I guess, expressing some malcontent while also bringing up Cardi B's name as far as being ghetto or whatever. I'm going to play the clip so that y'all can hear what was said. And this is where she jumped into the conversation.
So I wasn't going to talk about this anymore because it was like, y'all know I don't like to drag things out. But the videos y'all keep saying I'm ghetto and da 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 da, and it throws me off because none of my videos am I walking up to people selling them empty their purse, give me everything you got. I don't think I'm as ghetto as everyone tries to make it seem. And what bothers me as a black person, you guys say that I'm ghetto, but Cardi B, who doesn't look like a visible black woman to me, and this is no shade to you, Cardi B. This is
See, I don't know what your influence or what your inspiration was in bringing her into the conversation, but to throw her name out there, boom, you're about to say she's more ghetto than you, which I would say no. I don't know about that. I don't think Cardi B is ghetto. I think she has a problem with English, so she's not as articulate as some people would think or would like her to be. She's got other things going on. She gets, she gets aggressive at times, but I don't think she's ghetto. But to then go into who's not visibly a black woman or something like that, I don't understand where that comparison comes into the play either, because you ain't a black woman, you're a black man. You're gay, but why would you compare yourself in that light? You know what I mean? You could have used a better example. We're going to let you finish and I'm going to, allow you to try to express yourself further, but I just think that was weird.
no shade. This is just literally a fact. And we're speaking on colorism and all those type of things.
Now we're talking about colorism. Whoa. Where did colorism come into the play? Like, whoa. Because, again, if you're going to speak on colorism, which is a valid thing in entertainment, why don't you choose somebody who's in your bracket, somebody who's in your space from the Twitter community or the TikTok community, somebody that is perhaps a black gay man that's lighter, fairer skin, that's getting the opportunities that you yourself wish you were afforded, or you just kind of see it and it's like, oh, that's interesting. I don't get the looks, but this person is just like me. This is an equivalent to me, but the only difference is they're lighter. That would have a lot more equal value than comparing yourself to a Cardi B. A Cardi B, I mean, she is signed to a record label. She's a multi-platinum, I think diamond artist out here. So the marketability is based on the value of who she is. You know what I'm saying? Even if you want to go back to when she first came out, she was outspoken. She was herself. She was a goddamn stripper. But she had to build to where corporate America accepted her. It took time. It wasn't immediate. I've seen people try to call her an industry plant, and that shit is far from the truth because nobody was trying to allow her to get in. You know what I'm saying? She was looked at as ghetto. But this is the whole thing. You got to run your course, man. You got to stick to the script. You can't be getting dissuaded from what you're trying to do, especially since you're not where you want to be. I don't see how this is going to propel you any further.
She is very, very ghetto. She's way ghettoer than me. She's way hood gangster greasy with me. She was outside with the damn Bloods. And y'all don't say that this lady is ghetto. Y'all don't say that she isn't marketable. It feels like everyone can be ghetto and black besides ghetto and black people. And again, no shade to you, Cardi B.
Everybody can be ghetto and black except ghetto black people. I think that's a fucking falsehood, man. Like, since we're on the subject of Cardi B, let's just look at hip hop and all of the ghetto black people that are being paid very handsomely to perpetuate these stereotypes. They're exclusively being paid to perpetuate these stereotypes, as a matter of fact, because a lot of these motherfuckers, when they get there and they try to do something different, their fans don't accept it. The label don't want to hear that shit. Let's look at NLE Choppa as an example. That nigga tried to become Dr. Sebi for all the 8 months, and nigga said, bro, we don't want that shit, man. Stop eating fruit and growing shit in your backyard. We want that ratchet shit. Now he's putting his ratchet shit back out. Niggas are saying, we don't want that neither. Get the fuck out of here. So much so, he's going through an identity crisis right now. So you should have just kept this on yourself and said, man, I'm disappointed that I couldn't get. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna lie. You should have never said a motherfucking thing because nobody said anything negative about you. That girl was trying to big up you. She's not a representation in the boardroom at Essence. You know what I'm saying? She ain't there to put your name in a hat to get sponsorship and brand deals. She just a fucking journalist trying to get her quota for the month, get her some self-expression in before they might fire her ass before the next quarter. Have y'all not seen how journalists have been getting laid the fuck off and getting replaced by free work? You This why I be talking about, man. Niggas be thinking that they bigger than the program. You are never bigger than the program. And no one person is bigger than the program. Beyonce might be. Jay-Z might be. Rihanna. You know what I mean? Kanye, perhaps. Till you make your way to a Billy, you're not bigger than the program. And just because you got a few million followers, that's not going to do it.
I'm just doing a comparison. My content has always been uplifting women. I've always said so many things about women, like to encourage them and be amazing. And I might make a little joke about a relationship or a boy or something like that. And I might say bitch, but that don't make me a fucking gangster thug psycho, man. I literally don't get that. I have so much positive content that I don't even say a cuss word in. That is so uplifting with so many people, so many diverse groups, ethnicities. So what do y'all want to put me in this ghetto sad black trope for? I am from the hood. Yes, I am. But I have layers to me. I can have a deep, articulate conversation with you. Stop criticizing me. Another thing, I have always been an advocate for higher education.
You know what I mean? What was that last word he said? Stop criticizing me. Like, maybe I'm the ghetto one. You know what I mean? Maybe I need to shut the fuck up. I don't know, man. Because I was lost there.
I've always sent people in college money for food. I tell people to stay in school, get your degree. I talk to people with their 9 to 5 and say how people with 9 to 5s push the world. I talk about body positivity, all type of things. So what do y'all be wanting to make it seem like all I say is shake your ass, and turn on the damn sheet teeth? Because I.
All right. So basically, there were a lot of people that were jumping into his mentions that were quote tweeting or putting some sort of imagery of him twerking or basically exhibiting quote unquote ghetto behavior. And that was his response, basically saying, yo, don't pigeonhole me into that. There's way more ghetto people out here that do worse things than that. But for whatever reason, they're afforded opportunities. I think that that is a valid point. I just think he went about it in a weird way. I think he's been going about it in a weird way all day, as a matter of fact. So Cardi B then jumps in. And she says, it's crazy because when I became famous, people said I'm ghetto, talk shit about my accent, called me dumb because the way I speak, say I got no coof, talk about my teeth, my braids, my 2 buns. And to this day, no matter what I accomplished, I still get called a stripper, all because I'm from the ghetto. People misinterpret me because apparently I'm loud and ghetto to this day, call me a hood rat and all. When I sat down with Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden, they called me a ghetto stripper. Why is it that y'all got to use me to make y'all comparisons? Because y'all only see the glory, but not when I get dragged 24/7. Leave me the fuck alone and out of y'all bull-ish. So she's basically saying, dog, don't be out here comparing myself to you. You know what I'm saying? Because you think everything is beautiful on my side. These people still calling me ghetto to this day, still treating me like a stripper, even though she been left the club. You know, despite her political connections, and when she sits down with these people, she like, bruh, don't put me up against you. Because I'm receiving more of this shit than your ass can ever imagine. You think you catching it. Wait till you get up to this level. Leave me out of it. All right? So that began a vicious back and forth. He comes back and says, girl, why are you getting so mad at the comparison? I'm saying you are successful and reached heights that visibly black people, ghetto people, have a harder time reaching. See, this is where it gets weird because she just told you they've been calling her ghetto the whole motherfucking time. You keep doing this visibly black. What the hell is visibly black? I don't like that. I don't like when people try to marginalize somebody to their ethnicity or their nationality or whatever, especially when you don't personally know all of the details that go into that. I think it's a little messy. I think it discredits people in a way that it just doesn't seem right. And that's not just because of Cardi. I feel like I've definitely experienced that. People be like, oh, you don't experience it because you light skin. I'm like, dog, hey, maybe. But don't put that disclaimer on me, bro. Don't. Nigga got way more other shit going on in the world. And light skin ain't never saved me from that. Light skin ain't never saved me from overdue rent. Light skin cut off. Motherfucking water being overdue if I don't pay that motherfucker, man. Light skin ain't saving a nigga. All right? I ain't never dealt with the police, period. So I ain't never had a situation where light skin got me out of a situation. So it's just like, please don't bring that type of shit up because you don't know people's experience for you to make that assumption, right? Like light skin ain't gonna improve my acceptance letter at no motherfucking college if niggas ain't seen me before. I'm gonna keep this shit moving though, because I know some people gonna be mad at what I'm saying and not even listen to the context. Anyway, he says that visibly black people, ghetto people, have a harder time reaching, that act just like you. I'm not saying you don't deserve success or how you act is bad. I'm saying that if someone that was my color or darker acts the same way, we will never receive the same awards or love. You're being very dense. Sukiana, Sexy Red, the City Girls, the list go on. This is fucking stupidity. I'm sorry. Because Sukiana, Sexy Red, and the City Girls, it's not that they're not successful based on their skin color. Not at all. Sukiana is a motherfucking slore. Okay? She has pigeonholed herself into being a glorified OnlyFans person. Every opportunity that Sukiana has had to elevate her brand, to take herself to the next level, she's ruined it for herself. Please don't insert her into this. Sexy Red is all the taste right now, as a matter of fact. She could possibly be the next motherfucking Cardi B, the way y'all hyping this girl up, making her seem like she's dope. So you're 0 for 2 so far. Let's keep it going. The City Girls. The City Girls decided they wanted to stop rapping. Young Miami says she would rather goddamn join a fucking trafficking ring than do songs with her so-called best friend. Now that the shit done hit the fan, both of these girls are trying to go solo when they never even reached their height of their potential as a group. You know what I'm saying? Had they stuck with the program when QC said do it like Cardi do it, they had every opportunity to become who they wanted to be. They just decided to start putting out mid music because one of the rappers ain't even a real rapper. The other rapper would rather be solo. 0 for 3. He keeps going. You've had major campaigns that ghetto black women and men like me will never get. It's deeper conversation. I'm not trying to offend you at all to not think you have it easier to be seen as marketable because your lighter is crazy. Okay? So that's one. We're going to keep going here. Y'all bear with me. There's a lot. Cardi B comes back and says, I'm tired of people using me as their punching bag. Leave me the fuck alone. It's my day off. Right? She responds back directly to Raymonte. She said, that's not what you said. You said nobody called me ghetto and now you're moving the goalposts. You know why I'm at where I'm at right now? Because I took all those no's and recognized what I had to change. I had to change the way I talk, the way I act, the way I respond, and how I present myself. You ignoring all of that and playing the color card because you don't like me and it's effed up. You using all these other women. Sexy Red is making bangers and on tour with Drake, and I bet money she's going to win Female Rapper of the Year because she's grinding and working hard and not letting people call her ghetto distract her from the top. So miss me with that. That's exactly what I said, and I'm reading Cardi's tweet for the first mother effing time. Right? So I'm rolling with what she's saying, to be honest. He comes back. He says, who doesn't like you? When you're on the timeline saying you didn't want to be here, I sent you something very heartfelt and we had an amazing exchange and I thought we were good. You think I don't like you because I like another woman, and that's not the case at all. This isn't no stand shit. And of course, we know when it comes to the other woman, we're talking about Nicki Minaj. So apparently he is also a Nicki fan, probably a Barb. And she says, you brought my name up basically because you want to try to take sides and use me as an example. Okay? Cardi says, are we on the timeline or on the DMs? We were talking in DMs and now you're back on the timeline. You can't gaslight me and I won't let you confuse people by bringing up things that are irrelevant to the initial discussion. You say people never called me ghetto. I responded showing how I've always been called ghetto. And now you're bringing up stand shit. It's none of that. I'm just sick of people being comfortable with race baiting when it comes to me. And there's plenty of men you could have compared yourself to, but you got it. I said that in the beginning as well. I'm literally reading all of this in real time because no, I did not dedicate my day to goddamn seeing what the fuck was going on with these two. All right. Raymonte comes back. You say I'm using other women. When me and you had our talk months ago, you said, why don't I call Ice Spice a Mexican? You bring up other people, not me. I'm not bringing in other women in this. I think y'all are all great. It wasn't to offend or hurt you in any shape or form. And see, that's why, hey, even with me, when you come, I say this to everybody, when you come out on a public platform, you use people as examples, you talk about people's stories, you're going to be put in a position where somebody's not going to like what it is that you're saying. Me just talking about Raymonte, talking about Cardi B, talking about these rap niggas, saying they albums is mid, saying what they doing is questionable. It's going to put me on a radar for people to be like, I don't fuck with that nigga. I don't like what he said. And maybe one day when we meet, we can rectify the situation. We could get some clarity. We could talk about it and mend fences. Or some niggas may want to see me and be like, man, I'm going to put the gloves and put the paws on this nigga. Please don't try that because I'm crazy. I ain't no gangster. I ain't no killer. But I am a Pisces. And when we go to that level, ain't no turning back. So please leave me alone. Okay, I got a child and a wife to be that I gotta live for. So please leave me the fuck alone. Okay? But let me remove myself from the situation. That's what he said. He brought Ice Spice into it. And I guess there was a conversation before where he called Cardi B Mexican. She corrected him and said, well, why don't you call people like Ice Spice Mexican? We're of the same descent. But niggas seem to understand that she's Dominican and not me. Well, here's where Cardi responds. She says, same reason why you felt comfortable calling me a Mexican when I'm Dominican. And I asked you why you felt comfortable calling me a Mexican when Ice and Jerome, Zoe Saldana are Dominicans, and you don't do that to them. You do it because you know that's what people use to hurt me. Same way as you use my name in that video, knowing exactly what you're doing. I don't know why Cardi seems to care so much. I guess because they had a conversation in the past. She expected more. I don't know. But this thing is still going. All right? He says, all I was trying to say is that her being ghetto or getting called ghetto doesn't hinder her career. Essence wrote an article and asked why my birthday trip was not sponsored by any brands, and y'all said it was because I'm ghetto. This is where you fucked up, my brother. So you're telling me Essence wrote an article, and this is what I was saying to begin with. Essence wrote an article about you, and it wasn't Essence, it was a writer for Essence. I think that is a very important piece. A writer saw what you had going on and was like, yo, I write for Essence. Why don't I go there and put his story on a bigger platform so maybe people could, become more familiar with his story, more familiar with what he has going on. So by the time his next birthday comes around, maybe someone will want to reach out to him and turn it into a bigger event. You, on the other hand, decided to see the article, and instead of being grateful and just saying, thank you for the opportunity, thank you for talking and sharing my story, you decided to become offended. You voice your offense, and people come to the table and say, hey, maybe your shit was not sponsored because you're ghetto and not marketable. This is what Twitter chatter said. Essence did not say that to you. So now you're convoluting both stories or both narratives, and you're turning them into one, which has turned into a conversation on social media, which has become a bigger, grander conversation just off you creating a fucking jumbo dish out of two separate parts of the plate. And you wonder why you ain't eating the way you want to. Let's keep it going. Because I'm ghetto and not marketable. So I'm giving an example of another person who is ghetto that has reached a high level of success. It didn't hinder her, so why should it hinder me? That's all. Didn't mean to offend her or get dragged. I used her as an example because her ghetto ratchetness is what helped propel her career. Excuse me. It was called being relatable. This is not no stand Twitter. This is real life politics within the black community and entertainment industry. I'm confused on why I'm getting so much hate. You're getting hate, I believe, because you're just confused. That's all I can really say. You're confused. You took something and made it much bigger for seemingly no reason. And then you started involving other people using names as examples, and you didn't think that Cardi was going to have anything to say or that anyone was actually going to point her to the situation. And we know she reacts to anything with her motherfucking name on it. I think that's her strength and Achilles heel in the same swoop. Cardi B then decides to take it, scale it back. So she says, here's my advice to you, Raymonte. It takes time. Right now, I get brand deals for over $5 million for a campaign. I got social media famous in 2014. My first brand deal from Fashion Nova was in 2016 for $200 a post. You can reach any height no matter how ghetto or where you come from. Just remember the key is to be patient and be humble. Blessings. I hate that humble word, but you know, in context, it just means be patient, like she said, and take things in stride. Not everything is something to get up in arms about, take offense to, or even start creating, an issue where you're crying wolf. I hate when people cry wolf. You know what I mean? Try to make yourself into a victim when nobody ever victimized you. I hate that shit. Like, I hate when a motherfucker come to you and be like, so what you really saying is, nah, nigga, that's not what I was really saying. I told you exactly what I said. I'm very astute with my words. You know what I'm saying? I don't be liking that shit. And I don't like when people come to the public and start crying wolf, basically trying to say, well, what you were inferring here was this. And it's like, nah, nigga, read the quote. Right? It's crazy. So when Cardi B mentioned Ice Spice came in and she had a word or two of her own. Right? When it comes to this Dominican thing. Ice Spice comes in and says, no offense, Barty, it's true. She says, no offense, Barty, it's because I have a Dominican parent and a black one. And I guess she's trying to wonder why people don't call her Mexican. It's because, hey, I'm Dominican and black. So maybe that's why. Cardi even responded to Ice Spice. She says, I think there might be some confusion on what was said. I asked why he feels so comfortable calling me Mexican. I have no Mexican parents. My mom is Trini. She came out of a whole black woman. My father is Dominican. I'm Dominican just like you. I also used other Dominicans as an example because, as you should know, a lot of times we get clustered into one because of the language. Also, can you send me that pic you took of me with your camera from Vanity Fair? Thank you. And that, my friends, is going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem with her big homie. Cardi explained the situation, gave her a little bit further details, laid it out for her and said, hey, what about that picture we took? You know what I'm saying? Send that to me, please. To which Ice Spice posted right there on social media. I got to put it up here because this could very well be the start of an ending here. Ice Spice posts the photos, says De Lo Mio. They took 2 photos at the Vanity Fair situation. And, this term De Lo Mio, it's got multiple meanings in the Spanish context. But one, which I probably believe is what she was going for, is a term of endearment meaning of mine or of my people, So just letting it be known, hey, we 2 sisters of the same kind or something along those contexts, somewhere along those, whatever. So, boom. I don't know how Nicki's going to feel about that. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. Y'all know this pick a side shit gets real. It gets deep. I'm not here to construct that issue. If y'all Barb's got a problem with that, I apologize to you. But we know the narrative that's going on here. There seems to be some sort of division or some remnants of division between Ice Spice and Nicki. People have been saying for months that they think that they're going to go bad. I don't think that this contributes a positive light to that relationship. Then there's the Munch collaboration that never came out, that got leaked. I don't know. Nicki's remained silent. She hasn't spoken on any of this. She's continued to do her tour. Much success to her. She had a great tour. But I don't know how the Ice Spice Nicki connection is going to continue in 2024. I don't know if she's still going to be a heavy on it partner too much longer. Could be just a 1-year thing where they collaborated, helped each other in some way, and then go their separate ways. We don't know the specifics of that contract. But I just find that interesting. So at the bare minimum, we have peace between Cardi B and Ice Spice. As for Raymonte, he continues to go at it with people on Twitter. He still has not gotten over the issue. He did thank Cardi B for the advice. He says, "Thank you. Wish we could have started off like this. Appreciate it. That was your fault." Apparently, Ken Barbie decided to jump in, and they've been going back and forth. We're even seeing threats getting exchanged between them. I don't want to get too far into that and veer from the story, but Ken Barbie comes out and says they really all do be in the DMs, but on Twitter giving shows. Put us in the group chat at this point. I don't like how he always tries to insert himself into Cardi B's issues. I know that they're friends. I know that he's like a public representative of some sort. I don't know why. Like, she can't speak enough for her goddamn self. She does. But he jumped in. Raymonte comes and says, "Boy, I will beat the fuck out of you. Literally will make you uglier than you already are, bitch." So here we go. Here we go. He comes back. He says he better run that motherfucking blog before I turn his fake nose into earrings. Good God. Ken Barbie reacts and says, "LOL, clocking in for your second act, huh? I'm not going back and forth on Twitter. If you really got a problem, when you see me, you know what to do. Simple." He says, "Don't got to tell me," Raymonte says, "Don't got to tell me twice. They will be picking you up off the floor." As I stated, he was last seen still going at it back and forth with other people, wishing him the best, wishing him his future goes to all of the heights that he would like. But this is where I'm going to conclude the story. You know what I'm saying? It seems that he hasn't necessarily learned his lesson just yet because he's still battling it out. When at the end of the day, this was blown out of proportion. This was taken somewhere that it didn't need to go. So many others were brought into the fold, from Cardi to Ice Spice to now Ken Barbie. When all you really had to do, the same way you thanked Cardi for her advice, you could have thanked the original writer over there at Essence just for sharing a spotlight on your trip when Essence could have easily not covered it at all. And to come out and be like, "Fuck y'all don't never give me no invitations nowhere anyway." Okay, and you think saying this is going to help? So there you have it. Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the post notification bell for all updates. This went way longer than I intended. I thought this might have been, a 20-minute video at most, but it kept evolving while I was trying to make it, while I was trying to talk about it. It just kept evolving. You know what I mean? At this point, I've said everything that needs to be said, everything that needs to be shared. I'm coming right back with some content shortly. So whenever this goes up, within about an hour or so, we're going to be coming right back. All right. Much love and respect. I appreciate y'all, all my insiders. Big shout out to L. Scott for the super chat yesterday. Let me go ahead and play Lotto for you real quick, and then we're going to sign out. All right. So let's do that in honor, because I got to keep my word, and let's keep this thing rolling.
Ooh, ooh, yeah. Man, I done came up out the bottom. Ooh, ooh, yeah. Got fresh like I just hit the lotto. Ooh, ooh, yeah. They say money can't fix all your problems. Ooh, ooh, yeah. But I say throw it in my wallet. Ooh, yeah. Man, I done came up out the bottom. Ooh, yeah. Got fresh like I just hit the lotto. Yeah. They say money can't fix all your problems. Ooh, yeah. Well, I say throw it in my wallet.
Yeah, big salute to L. Scott. Big salute to all my insiders, all my super insiders, all my Cash App crew out there. I appreciate y'all once again. It is not mandatory that you pour into the channel financially, but every time you do, it's always greatly appreciated. We will always shout you out. We will always give y'all the love and respect that y'all deserve. I'm signing out. I will see y'all on the next video. Much love and respect, y'all. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. But drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross I'm out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. When I catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.